Hello YouTubers, Allan Lindsley here, and I just wanted to cover a few key points. If I can just get a few minutes of your valuable time, I would like to go over a few key points and concerns in Thailand. There's a couple things that you have to be prepared for. The number one thing is, make sure you carry toilet paper, because let me tell you, when you get here and you try Thai food for the first time, they use very heavy and multiple spices. I'm talking, you have never tasted anything like this if this is your first time in Thailand. I was completely unprepared. Luckily, I had the toilet paper, because let me tell you, this is the scenario that you get put in. Say you come here, you don't have any toilet paper, right? You try some Thai street food. It frickin' throws your stomach. You get okay, you got to go to the bathroom. You head over there. It's an emergency. Then you get in there and there's no toilet paper. So let me tell you, when you're rushing in there and your stomach's turning from Thai food from the first time you've experienced it, and you get on to do your business and there's no toilet paper, it's just a bad day. So then, don't get caught in that position. So number one, bring packed toilet paper. Always have a roll on you. And then the other thing, you gotta watch out. There's lots of beautiful women out here, but then there's these lady boys. I can't get over that. Please be cautious of them. They think it's some type of a joke where you're the foreigner coming up. Everybody knows they're a lady boy, and that they kind of mess with you and do weird things. And just tell them, if you don't know that person, you tell them, hey, get away from me, don't touch me, leave me alone. Because it's like some joke here that I can tell. They just come up and they bother you, and a lot of them look like a girl, so then they can confuse you. So don't get confused, and just ask them, because they have to tell you. Say, hey, are you a guy or a girl? And they say, oh, I'm a guy, or I'm a lady boy. You tell them, hey, I'm not into that. I like girls. Not that, you're not a good person. Me personally, I think it's kind of weird and kind of jacked up and wrong on their end. You always hear, these, oh, gay and lesbian and all this, what I consider, my opinion, just kind of weird stuff to, be out there, and we are to respect them, but from what I can tell, they don't expect the straight guy. So please, it's just not my thing. I like women. I like especially beautiful women. So that's just what I'm into. If you're offended by that, I'm sorry. It's not your life. You go and do, if you want to go off and do what I consider weird things, you go off and do that. But the number two thing is watch out for the lady boys, because to me, it's kind of rude, it's disrespectful, and you just got to tell them, get away from you, leave you alone. Say, hey, I'm trying to enjoy my vacation here. Can you please leave and stop ruining my vacation? Go off and maybe ruin somebody else's life. So, there's that. And the third thing, just make sure you enjoy yourself. There's so much out there to do. Just have a plan at the day, because you get out and there's just you have a plan, you want to do something, and there's just so much that it just kind of weaves you through, and then at the end of the day, you're just like, oh, I didn't do what I wanted to do, and you end up in left field somewhere. So, just have a plan, and then that way you know what to do, because they will, they're here, they know you're a tourist, they know you're new, and they will try to sell you everything. So if you don't have a disciplined planned budget, say, hey, and you just buying, you're gonna end up with a lot of stuff, because literally I had lunch the other day and at least 3 or 4 people came up with multiple items, watches, speakers, everything else, while I'm trying to eat, and wanting me to buy stuff. And they're very polite about it. Just tell them, no, you don't want it. But if you show any type of interest, that's 15 minutes. So especially if you tell them no. because then they think you're interested, they think you're going to buy, they think you're a tourist with, you know, you're rich, you got all this money, why are you not buying my stuff? That's what you're supposed to do. And they kind of put that guilt trip on you. So again, just have a plan throughout the day. So again, number one thing, toilet paper, be ready for the Thai food. It does take a little adjusting to get used to Thai food, because let me tell you, like, I had to go get some American food. When I had it for the first time, I was completely unprepared for the Thai food. And like, I couldn't even finish the meal. I was embarrassed because it was the first time I didn't finish a meal, because I'm a former U.S. Marine cook, and I always finish the meal to show respect for the cooks. So, you know, to not finish the meal, I thought it was kind of disrespectful, but I just physically, like, I sat there for an hour trying to finish 2 plates. I got through one very light plate, and I just could not finish the second plate. And it was veggies. It was like, you know, it was like lettuce and, you know, green beans and just, I mean, it wasn't the same type of veggies as American veggies, but it was definitely different. But just every little thing was just tearing me up. So again, I had to leave. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I just can't finish it. And I left. And then I was very cautious after that to watch what I was eating, and could I take it and just take, you know, small bites. So again, and then the toilet paper, definitely a must. Watch yourself, be safe, make sure you don't put yourself in a position. And the other thing, the third thing I'd like to cover, do not, like, every place you get off with the bus and the plane and the boats, those are tourist hotspots. And there's going to be a wave of people there. There's going to be taxis, there's going to be people trying to sell you stuff, all this stuff. What I've learned over the 5 months of, you know, traveling different countries and experience different things is, you know, you should not deal with the first people that you see, because they've jacked the prices up. I'll give you an example. When I went over to the tropical island of Koh Samui, there was an instance where I got off the ferry and there was a taxi guy there. He wanted to charge me $32 to go to the other side of $36 to go to the other side of the island. I didn't know. I thought it was a far distance. I said, hey, no, man, I have nowhere I need to be. I'm not in a hurry. And it walked by. And then I was able to rent a scooter, you know, for the entire 24 hours for like $5. And just I went all over the island like 5 times. And I seen that it was just such a ripoff that, you know, I was being charged a tourist price. It was a high price just to go, you know, maybe a 20-minute ride to the other side of the island. It was just like when I found, and I was like, man, I'm glad I didn't, you know, accept the ride. And then I was at the airport in the Philippines, and I get in a taxi and discuss the prices before you go. Don't just do something and then you go and then you discuss the prices, because they have some outrageous prices when you do that. They're not stupid. If you don't say, hey, this taxi ride is $2 before you set off, and you get in the taxi and you arrive at your destination, and then you're like, how much? They're like, oh, $30 for like a 5-minute ride. So be sure you discuss and you know the absolute time and where you're going and how much it's going to cost you. So again, don't let them rip you off. Have your guard up, you know, and watch the alcohol, because I've seen so many people get out here and get pissed drunk and just get robbed, or they spend $600-700, and then at the end of the day they're blaming everybody, the whole town, on why they went through $1,000 and why they're broke, and, you know, all this sad stuff. You put yourself in the situation, and going out in a foreign country and getting sloshed and is not going to be good. You're going to either end up arrested. There's one guy that got killed. He got beaten to death with a golf club because he decides to have 2 women over to his house, and, you know, apparently they killed him with a golf club and robbed him, you know. So you got to watch out for that stuff. From what I can tell, just pretty much when they abuse women, alcohol, and just put themselves in a bad situation, that's when the tourists run into, you know, trouble. So just be cautious on that with, you know, getting ripped off, robbed, stay safe. I'm not saying don't drink, but drink responsibly in a well-lit area. I'd suggest just having one or two. If you have 10 or 15 and that's what you're doing all night, I mean, really, which I've seen, they come to Thailand and they sit at the bar all night and all day and they drink all night and all day. And, it's like, what are you doing? You can do that in America. You can do that in your home country. Why'd you come all the way over here to do that? Like, don't you want to go run and swim and, go snorkeling and go jet skiing and parasailing and enjoying everything here? I mean, but that's them. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's what I've observed. So again, I'll leave you with that and have a good day.